Hello and happy new moon, new year practice. Welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. And the beginning part is Vinyasa Flow. The second part is Yin and Restorative Yoga. And then we'll have a guided 10 minutes of meditation specifically focused on setting your intentions for this new year and new moon. You may want to have the following props for the physical practice: 2 blocks and a strap, a bolster, and a blanket. Let's begin in a comfortable seated position of your choice, whatever allows you to feel a sense of grounding, where the bottom of your body feels balanced and well supported, so that your spine can be upright, torso feels spacious to invite the breath. And at the same time, your whole body can feel relaxed. Maybe it takes a moment to just move around and feel into your body. Notice what might need to move a little before you sit still. And as you're doing that, I'm going to read a few paragraphs excerpt from Yoga International. The article is called How to Create a Sankalpa. Remember, Sankalpa is often translated as your intention, which I invite you to do at the beginning of our yoga practices. But here's a little more to it. Rod Stryker, who is founder of Para Yoga, explains that the chief architect of life is the mind. To create the life we are meant to live, we must draw the mind again and again to our dharma, our deepest intentions, and the qualities of the divine within. A sankalpa is a statement that does this for us. Stryker explains that kalpa means vow, or the rule to be followed above all other rules. San, he says, refers to a connection with the highest truth. Sankalpa, then, is a vow and commitment we make to support our highest truth. By definition, a sankalpa should honor the deeper meaning of our life. A sankalpa speaks to the larger arc of our lives, our dharma, our overriding purpose for being here. The sankalpa becomes a statement you can call upon to remind you of your true nature and guide your choices. A sankalpa can take 2 forms, according to Richard Miller, PhD, a clinical psychologist and teacher in the Advaita Vedanta and Kashmir non-dual traditions. The first form is what Miller calls the heartfelt desire, a statement that reflects your true nature. This type of sankalpa is far more all-encompassing than a New Year's resolution and requires no change or action. It is literally simply a statement of who you are, such as, I am already whole and already healed, or I am peace itself. According to Miller, it doesn't come from the intellectual mind. The resolve comes from deep within us, directly out of the mystery of who we ultimately are. It then informs our mind of a particular direction that we need to take or are taking in our life. A sankalpa can also take a second form, that of a specific intention or goal. Brenna Gihan, a certified Para Yoga instructor in the San Francisco Bay Area, explains, when you discover your purpose, not everything happens all at once. To live your soul's mission, you need to reach milestones. Setting specific intentions can help you align your moment-to-moment choices with your heartfelt desire. Gishan suggests looking forward into the next year and asking yourself, what specific things need to happen to move you forward on your path? Your specific sankalpa will describe what you need to do and where you need to direct your energy to make progress on your larger life goals. Anne Douglas, a yoga therapist in Banff, Alberta, specializes in navigating her students through the sometimes difficult process of answering the question, what do I really want? She encourages students to simply start where they are. Douglas has found that any goal can be an entry point, including a typical New Year's resolution. Even a desire that might be interpreted as a simple or shallow can lead you to the heart's desire. It might arise out of conditioning, but if you trust the practice and keep following the heart's desire, it will take you to the essence of your being. To get to that deeper yearning, work with whatever goal arises, but also ask yourself what's underneath it. For example, one of the most common goals Douglas hears in our culture is, I want to get fit, or I want to lose weight. When working with her students, she asks them to imagine how life will be and how they think they will feel as a result of losing weight and getting in shape. Is it a sense of self-love, physical well-being, or freedom? What is the feeling they are striving for? What is the longing in the heart that is pointing them in this direction? So, as we focus on Sankalpa today, let's take a moment first to observe what's here right now. You might close the eyes as you begin to bring your awareness throughout your physical body, sensing the aliveness of sensations in different parts of your body. Noticing any areas that show tension or openness. Noticing without judging anything as good or bad. Notice the breath as well. What can you feel about your breathing right now without even controlling the breath? You might sense its depth or pace. And now observe the state of your mind and heart. Noticing the kinds of thoughts that you have been entertaining and how that feels inside. Let's move into a practice of appreciation. What have you been blessed with so far in these past few first days of the year, this new year, or the past few weeks of the last lunar cycle? What can you appreciate and love about your life right now? Bringing that sense of empowerment. Now look within your hearts. What is calling your attention in any aspect of your life right now? Is there a longing, a desire that has been blossoming within you? We're going to dive a little deeper into this, but for now, unless you have something more specific, I invite you to think of a personal quality that may be helpful in achieving that desire or goal or intention. What would be a really helpful personal quality, such as courage, open-mindedness, self-compassion, creativity? What quality would you like to bring more awareness to, knowing that what you focus on expands and strengthens? And as you continue to breathe a little slower, Maybe a few exhales, sighing out through the mouth. I invite you to take in the feeling of that quality. Let it affect the way you're breathing, the way you are physically holding yourself up. And invite you to use your imagination. I love what Albert Einstein said. Creativity is intelligence, having fun. Remembering that's such an important part of the journey too, is enjoying it. So I invite you to play with embodying that personal quality that will support your greater intention. As we move through the physical practice. And now, so that the ego doesn't cling on to how we practice or what we're doing here now, I invite you to offer up your efforts. So you've set the intention and now surrendering, offering up your efforts to somebody else that you can dedicate this practice to. It might be an individual, it might be a group of beings, it might be a cause that you care about. And then together, let's chant, creating resonance, 3 ohms. Inhale a little fuller. Gently open your eyes, release your palms, and allow the breath to deepen where you're closing the lips, creating inner warmth, and softly narrowing the back of your throat, creating a gentle whispering sound, allowing you to rest your awareness on the breath, connecting to the present moment. Let's practice Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing. So in through the nose, as slowly as out through the nose. Listening for that whisper to track the quality of the breath, that it's calm, that it's deep and even. Inviting those qualities into our physical practice. Let's make our way onto all fours and we'll start to warm up with cat-cow pose, Betalasana. Stepping your hands at the top of your mat, spread your fingers wide, and let's give the inner wrist a stretch here by spinning out your hands to whatever degree feels comfortable. You might spin the fingertips to face your knees or the sides of the mat. As you stack your shoulders over your wrists, step your knees back a couple of inches behind your hips. And as you breathe in, glide your chest forward and roll your shoulders back and down, looking up, cow pose. As you breathe out, contract your abdomen, slowly dropping your head to round your back into cat pose. Again, inhale, draw your chest forward, broaden it as you look up. Exhale, firm your belly in towards the spine, tucking your tailbone to round. Keep going. Another, say 3 more slow cycles, following your breath. On your next exhalation, relax the neutral spine. Point your index fingers forward, or you can slightly turn them out if you've got tightness in the fronts of the shoulders. You want to help out. Stretch the thumbs wide towards each other and tuck your toes. With feet hips width apart, bend your knees and lift your hips as high as you can, pulling them back to stretch the back of your spine. Begin to press one heel into the ground as you bend the opposite knee. Breathe here. Pause. Feel the sensations in the back of your straight leg. Press the opposite heel down as you bend the other knee. Breathe there and pause. Notice what you feel in the back of the straight leg. You might continue to pedal your feet in this way, or as you pedal, swivel your hips side to side. Feel the sensations along the sides of your torso and outer hips. Can you still hear your breath? Let your head fall so your neck is relaxed while you lift your shoulders back away from your neck. Begin to walk to the front of your mat, arriving with feet hips distance or wider apart. Parallel your feet to each other and bend your knees as much as it allows you to easily rest your belly onto your thighs. Tilting your weight forward. Take hold of opposite elbows with your hands and shake the head no a few times to really relax the neck. Nod the head yes a few times as you lift the shoulders away from the neck. Then start to sway your spine side to side. If the back of your body feels tight, bend your knees even more so that this can feel more easeful. Tilt your weight as far forward as you can balance here, inviting your hips to stack above your heels. Now lower your fingertips. Press them into the ground if that's not easy to reach. Use your blocks and place your hands on them as high as you need. As you breathe in, stretch the crown of your head forward, creating a flat back while drawing the shoulder blades away from the neck, firming in the belly. Keep shifting forward as you bow from your hips and drop your head. Once again, press with your hands and inhale, stretch your spine forward and glide the shoulders back. Lengthen the sides of your torso from outer hips to outer armpits. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep the arms forward, rise all the way up to stand. Interlace your fingers overhead and flip your palms inside out. Draw the shoulders down and exhale, lean to your right into a side stretch, firming the left foot into the ground. Inhale, rise up to center, relax the shoulders, and then lean to your left as you exhale, firming the right foot down. Inhale back to center. Bend your elbows wide apart like a cactus shape and peel the shoulder blades down the back as you coil your chest up and gaze up. Inhale, raise the arms, touch the palms together, and exhale, trace your thumbs down from your crown to your heart center. Listen to your breath. Remember that personal quality that you are embodying in this practice today. How would it feel to move with that? Bringing gratitude into the practice too as we salute the sun. So inhale, sweep the arms overhead, coil your chest up. Bend your knees if that helps to fold more easily. Exhale, relax the neck. Lower your fingertips outside your heels. Inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge, gazing up. Hold your breath as you step to plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale, lowering your knees, your chest, then your chin. Inhale, slither forward, entering cobra. Point the toes and roll the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips back. Downward facing duck. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb and lower your right knee, gazing up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Root down to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, rising all the way up. Watch the palms meet, then exhale, trace them down to your heart. Second side, Surya Namaskar C. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead and lift your heart towards the sun. What is that quality you're embodying? Feel that as you move. Exhale, forward folds. Plant the fingertips on the earth. Inhale, step the right knee back to a kneeling lunge. Look up. Hold your breath as you step to plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lift your hips back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb and lower your left knee, gazing up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Rooting down, inhale, rise. lifting your heart towards the open sky above. Exhale, gather your palms in prayer at your hearts. Moving on to sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep the arms in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold in Uttanasana. Press your hands on your blocks or the floor. Inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step back to plank pose and pause for a few breaths. Stack your shoulders above your wrists and either lower your knees to the floor right under the hips or straighten the legs. Firm the sides of your belly. Lengthen your neck, gazing on the ground ahead of your thumbs, and wrap your triceps towards the back wall. Tune into the breath. With a slow exhalation, glide forward as far as you can, then lower halfway down, hugging the elbows to your ribs. Pause there, lift the sides of the belly, lengthen the neck, chaturanga. Then lower all the way for cobra or flip the toes here, keep the pelvis lifted, and draw the shoulder heads back, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips to downward facing dog. Let your body be still as you steady your gaze for 2 more deep breaths. When you've emptied the next exhale, walk or float to the front of your mat into Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale your hands to meet at your heart in Padasana. Let's flow through that once more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank and decide to lower to chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Continue through cobra or upward facing dog. Let's meet in downward facing dog. As you arrive in downward dog, empty the next breath. Inhale, sweep your right leg behind you. Exhale, bend that knee towards your nose and softly step the foot beside your right thumb. Stay on the ball of your left foot. And inhale, rise to crescent lunge. We're just passing through. Spin the left heel down and align your right heel to the arch of your left foot. Open the arms into warrior 2. And now let's breathe here. 5 breaths. Steadying your gaze just past your right fingertips. Bending your right knee directly above your right heel as you firm the outer edge of your left foot into the ground. Hugging your right outer hip in towards you as you firm the top of your left thigh bone back. Relaxing your shoulders right above the hips, inviting a long, spacious spine. One more breath in. Flip the right palm to face up. Next inhale, peaceful warrior. Sweep that arm overhead towards the rear wall as you side bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause for 1 full breath in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, sweep your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and softly step the foot beside your left thumb. Stay high on the ball of your right foot and inhale, rise into crescent lunge. Turn to your right and spin the right heel down. Exhale into Virabhadrasana 2. Aligning left heel to the arch of your right foot. Bending your left knee just above the ankle. From the outer edge of your right foot into the ground. Wrap your left sitting bone beneath you and firm the top of your right thigh bone back. Relax your shoulders right above your hips. 1 more full breath. Then flip your left palm to face up. Inhale into peaceful warrior, side bending towards your rear wall. This time, rise up to stand and keep your feet wide apart. Straighten both legs. Parallel both feet to face the wide width of your mat. So let's bring the feet just wide enough apart to come into a wide-legged forward fold. Making sure they're parallel, bring the hands behind you and either interlace your fingers or if it's more helpful, grab a strap and you can space the hands apart as wide as you need to be able to open up the fronts of your shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and breathe in, look up. As you breathe out, tilt your weight forward and hinge from your hips, aligning your hips with your ankles so your pelvis is not behind the ankles. You can bend your knees any amount so that you're not rounding your back as well. Breath by breath, folding forward, stretch the arms away from your lower back. Open up the fronts of your shoulders. Relax your neck. You might shake and nod your head a few times as you're listening to your breath. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Lower your fingertips down and crawl your hands forward to lift the chest. Come up halfway and pause here. Draw the shoulders back. Then walk your hands to the front of your mat and pivot to face the front into a lunge. From your lunge, step back to plank or hands and knees. Lower all the way down. So lying on your belly, place a block just on the right side of your head. We're going to open up the fronts of the shoulders here in a yin posture. Plant the left hand on the floor just beside your left shoulder. Slide your right arm wide to the right so the palm is resting face down in line with your right shoulder. Press the ground away with your left hand and start to turn over onto your right outer hip, resting the right side of your head onto your block. Take a moment to pause. Send the right shoulder blade further down your back to lengthen the right side of your neck. And then maybe keep going. Notice how it feels in the front of your right shoulder. If it feels really open, you need to feel a little more sensation. You can roll back further. You can even step the left foot on the ground behind you. You can step both feet on the ground. You might even change it up and see how it feels to wrap the left arm behind you as well. Notice where you feel any strong sensations, if any. And can you invite the deep breaths to open up space in that area, to relax where you might be holding or gripping, tensing. One more deep breath here. Slowly unravel onto your stomach. Take your time, little by little. Switch the block over to the left side of your head. Place the right hand on the ground beside your right shoulder. And slide your left arm wide to the right. Palm face down on the floor, in line with the left shoulder. Press the ground away with the right hand and start to roll over to your left outer hip, resting the left side of your head on your block. Pause and slide the left shoulder blade further down your back. Lengthen the left side of your neck. You might stay here, you might keep leaning back. Just notice how it feels in your left shoulder. Maybe wrap the right arm behind you. Now, where is your body speaking the loudest in this posture? You might close your eyes and imagine directing your deep breaths into that space. Perhaps infusing the quality that you are focusing on in this practice, that you are embodying today through your intention, into whatever parts of your body are wanting your attention. One more deep breath here. Slowly begin to roll onto your belly. Reach for your 2 blocks, please, and just slide them back alongside your outer hips, and then press up to hands and knees, all fours. We're going to give a little more attention to our shoulders, especially in the back area. So let's set up our couple of blocks, placing them like a number 11 on your mat on their lowest height. And separating the blocks so they are as wide apart as your shoulders distance. If you find that having the blocks on the lowest height feels too strong in your shoulders and you need to make it a little milder, you can make the blocks a little higher like this. It'll make it easier. So let's have your arms extended forward. Rotate your outer upper arms downward so that you can feel your shoulder blades protract, spreading wide across the upper back. Press the shoulder blades down as well, and now place your bent elbows on the 2 blocks. Placing your elbows exactly your shoulders width apart, press your fingertips into each other. Now step your knees back a couple inches behind your hips and start to trace your thumbs down the back of your skull. Down the back of your neck if possible, as you let your head just rest down. So again, if the blocks feel like they're too low, like this is too intense, you can lift the blocks to the medium height to make it less intense on your shoulders. Making sure the elbows are not splaying apart wider than your shoulders distance. Continue to draw your shoulder blades back. As you allow your chest to sink and open up, firm in your belly towards your back, lengthening the lower spine. Now again, feel your body breathe. Infusing the quality of your intention into how you're breathing. One more full breath here. And then slowly lift up and off the blocks, sliding your legs out in front of you. Come to sit upright. You might find it helpful to sit on your folded blanket if you tend to round your back when your legs are in front. Give yourself any support you need to sit tall, upright. Step your right foot on the ground, and let's prepare for a seated spinal twist, loosening up the spine, stretching the lower back, and promoting digestion. So you can choose to have the right foot in front of your right hip like this. This is the mildest form of the posture, or going a little further, cross the foot outside of your left knee as long as your 2 sitting bones can evenly root down. Here you can also add bending the left knee. Backstroke your right arm, place the fingertips behind your pelvis, and raise your left arm, press down into the ground with all of your body touching it. and lift up to your spine. Breathe in. Exhale, begin to turn your rib cage to the right, keeping your pelvis still. One more time, press the pelvis down, lift up from the bottom of your spine to your crown as you breathe in. Once again, twist across your waistline. Now lower your left arm. Either hold your right leg or hook your elbow outside of the thigh and keep lengthening, grounding, and twisting, breath by breath. Your collarbones widen so your heart space feels open and light. One more deep breath here. Exhale, unwind your spine and stretch both legs forward. Just pause a moment, sit tall. Let in a deep breath from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. And let it go. Invite you to, if you can, do the same setup for side two. As you bend the left knee, either step the left foot in front of your left hip or cross it outside of your right knee. Or also bend the right knee. Backstroke your left arm and plant the fingertips behind your pelvis. Raise your right arm and press into the earth, even with the sole of your left foot. Lift up through the spine, breathe in. Relax your shoulders down and twist to the left as you breathe out. Again, root down, rise as you inhale, twist a little more as you exhale. Then lower your right arm, holding the left leg or hooking the elbow outside of it. Continue to root down, rise, and exhale as you twist. Let your shoulders stay relaxed, down away from the ears, your chest wide open. One more deep breath here. As you exhale, unwind your spine. And once again, stretch your legs forward. Pause here. Deep breath. Let it go. Now I'm going to invite you to spread the legs wide apart, straddling. So you might want to turn to face the wide width of your mat. And again, if you feel like your back tends to round, try elevating your pelvis on any of your props that's comfortable. You may want to have a pillow in front of your pelvis, maybe even the pillow and the blanket, maybe also the blocks. So we're going to be possibly folding forward so you can have something to land on so you're not holding yourself up. So as you spread the thighs wide apart, use your hands to cup the tops of your thighs at the creases of your hips and rotate your inner thighs back so that you can feel your two sitting bones firming downward. From there, lift up the lower belly as you draw it in towards the spine. And sit a little taller as you relax the shoulders. Plant the fingertips down in front of your pelvis. Have any props you may need to fall on right in front of you. And then inhale, lift up through the chest. Now keep your kneecaps pointing up, your toes pointing up, the whole posture. Make sure to keep your knees safe. And then if it's available, start to hinge forward, crawl the hands forward little by little. Not forcing anything, but using as many props as it allows you to feel relaxed in this position. We're going to be still here for 3 minutes. So make sure that you are relaxed in that. As you arrive at your range of motion, adjust anything you may need so that your shoulders can relax, you can breathe comfortably, you're not closing off your throat, tucking the chin to the chest. And you can still feel your knees are pointing upwards, they're not rotating forward. And then come back to full breaths in through the nose. Just as slowly out through the nose. Tuning into the whisper at the back of your throat. One more deep breath where you are. Try to move very slowly. Planting your fingertips on the ground, gently lifting your head, your torso. And rising up. Let's bring the hands to the outer thighs so that you can lift your bent knees and slide your feet together towards the front of your mat again. Then have a block nearby as you lower onto your back. Lying on your back, bend your right knee into your chest, hugging your right thigh or shin. You might move your right foot at the ankle, circling the foot, pointing and flexing the foot. Slide the right leg forward on the ground and switch. Bend the left knee. Take hold of your left thigh or shin with both hands. Remember to relax the head and shoulders here. Down onto the ground. Give your left foot some movement at the ankle. How's your breath right now? And then bend both knees to the outsides of your shoulders and lift your feet up into happy baby. With the arms between the legs, take hold of your outer calves, ankles, or feet, and splay your thighs apart as you parallel the feet to each other. Ground the back of your tailbone, shoulders, and head. Deep breaths. Bring the hands to your outer thighs and close the knees together. Step your feet onto the ground and invite you to choose a cooling restorative inversion to practice for about 10 breaths. Either classical shoulder stand, Salamba Sharvangasana, if you're free of neck issues and you normally practice it and know how, or supported shoulder stand. Using a block, lift the pelvis and slide the block wide across your sacrum, the flat part of your lower back. Resting on the block at the height that you choose, lift the legs up and relax your feet. So those of you going into traditional shoulder stand, plug the elbows on the ground really close to your side ribs and use your hands to help you lift your pelvis up off the ground. Walking in the elbows even closer together so that you can stretch the legs straight up, creating a vertical line. Make sure not to turn your head side to side. Once you've lifted the pelvis, protect your neck by tilting your chin back and maintaining the curvature of your neck so you're not flattening the back of the neck on the ground. Some of you might raise the legs overhead from traditional shoulder stand, coming into cloud pose, which is a forward fold, halasana. So practicing your inversion for about 10 full breaths. Let's eventually meet lying down on our backs with no props beneath. When coming down from plow or shoulder stand, be very gentle. Use your hands on your lower back for support so you can slowly lower the spine, then the pelvis. So once you've come out of your inversion, please slide the legs forward and bring them together, relaxing your feet. Let's practice fish pose before we rest. So slip your palms face down underneath the backs of underneath your glutes, and then let your thumbs come together to touch. Press your palms, forearms, and elbows into the ground as you lift your chest and tilt your chin back, as far back as you comfortably can. Now, some of you might be able to place the crown of your head on the floor, seeing the back wall upside down. Whatever extent, allow a few last 3 to 5 breaths in this posture before you lower for Shavasana. And when lowering for Shavasana, you may want to grab your props. You might have a blanket over your body, maybe something on top of your eyes like a strap. You might have a pillow under the backs of your knees if you've got stiffness in the lower back that can help to feel more relaxed. Get comfortable being still for a few minutes in corpse pose. Closing your eyes, release control of your breath. Let each inhale bring you greater presence of what is here now. And with each natural exhale, allow your body to soften and relax more deeply, allowing you to tune inward. Let your body rest here a little longer. Allow your eyes to remain closed. Let your inner gaze scan your physical body once again, observing how you feel now physically. Start with small movements to gently begin waking up your body from stillness. Ease into a simple stretch. And with eyes still closed, slowly turn over onto your right side and pause there for a few moments. Sensing the breath, sensing your energy, and how it's affected by your practice. As you're ready, take your time lifting your body up. Please find a comfortable way to sit for a guided 10 minutes of meditation on your Sankalpa. Sit in a way that you feel empowered, in which energy can flow most easily, where the torso is upright, open, the heart space is open, and your whole being is relaxed. You might rest the palms to stack face up on the center of your lap, the right palm symbolizing compassion, held by the left palm symbolizing wisdom, according to Tibetan Buddhist meditation, and the thumb tips touching. You may also close your eyes to help direct your attention deeper inward, or steady a soft gaze on the ground ahead. Feel your body breathing naturally, allowing the sensations of the breath to connect you here in this present moment. Call back the intention you practiced embodying in your asanas today. What is that personal quality that you chose? Was it courage, confidence, creativity, flexibility, gratitude? Now, as you remember your quality, I invite you to ask a question deep within yourself, question to your heart, your inner compass. In what ways would I like this quality to show up in my life this year? In what ways would I like this quality to show up in my life this year? So allow a moment to scan through different aspects of your life. Work life, different relationships, home life, your free time. Embodying that personal quality you'd like to celebrate and strengthen. How would your life be like in any of these aspects? Deliberate creation is much more than just deliberately choosing a subject of attention and focusing upon it. For while it is a good thing to deliberately choose the subject of your attention, you must also feel for the vibrational content of your thoughts in order to really be in deliberate control of your creating. From Esther and Jerry Hicks. So now that you've chosen a context, a setting for which you'd like to experience yourself embodying that quality, I invite you to practice visualization for the next few moments and get as specific as you can with the details to stimulate your senses. In what aspect of your life are you demonstrating the strength of that quality you chose? For example, if my quality might be communication, maybe I'm strengthening communication at work and in my ability to communicate my needs clearly and set any boundaries that promote health and balance in my life. So that might look like how I interact with my boss and my colleagues. So where does this quality show up for you? Visualize that context. Look around. Who's there? And how are you demonstrating this quality as a strength? What's happening? See yourself. Hear what's happening. What is the feeling you are evoking here? Notice what you feel in your physical body right now. How does that quality feel in your body? For example, how does courage feel in your body? Mentally or out loud, I invite you to fill in the blank with that quality. I am courage, or I am vibrant, or I am creativity, I am peace. What is that quality? And I invite you to contact the feeling in your body as you repeat that affirmation a few times to yourself. affirming it in all the cells of your being, affirming it in your energy body, affirming it in your mind and your life as a remembrance of your true nature. As we bring our practice to a close, remember to whom you offered up this practice to today. You might picture them in some way experiencing well-being. You might name anyone or anything to appreciate as we practice gratitude. Gratitude to yourself for showing up to the practice as well. Gratitude to this community supporting you by showing up too. Gratitude to the teachers before us who continue to support us by sharing this practice of yoga today. Let's close chanting Om 3 times. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.